Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Snow White!
Hi! This is beautiful. You look lovely.
I love you.
I love
love
me?
you so much.
I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And to see this is really emotional for me, so I'm going to try to not do that. I love her,
she's
and
emotional
her
now.
superpower is her heart. It's nothing supernatural. It's something that all of us have. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy Snow White. Thank you.
Have you ever seen a company so big, so strong, so utterly untouchable, only to fumble a film more than Dopey would if he were trying to land a backflip? Disney sadly has done just that once more. From terrible reviews to computer-generated imagery that looks so bad it looks like it was rendered on a toaster, and ticket sales that are so dismal the dwarf's cottage looks like it's crowded, just when you thought the worst was over, it got even messier. Their new live-action Snow White remake was already a fiery mess of public relations crises, cast conflicts, and fans swearing they would avoid the movie.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Let us now delve into all the specifics of the catastrophe, since everyone is wondering whether this could be among the most catastrophic mistakes Disney has gone through recently. Disney is well known for throwing extravagant picture ops and fans screaming on the red carpet at the premiere. This is their thing. But Snow White? Their premiere was so low-key that it felt like they were celebrating a birthday by themselves. They entered a state of silence, as if they were trying to sneak it past everyone. Given that the film has been dragged through drama for 2 years in a succession, this subdued approach, probably meant to avoid fresh controversy, did not get any response. Instead of a press question and answer session or interviews, there were a few influencers who sent dubiously positive tweets, like Rachel Zegler, which was visually spectacular.
West Side, like, did you have to audition for Snow White, or like, oh, they saw you in West Side Story, they're like, you're Snow White?
West Side Story was kind of nowhere near coming out. We were about like 6 months away from release, and no footage had been seen. And I actually got a really glowing recommendation from Steven Spielberg to Mark Webb, who directed Snow White, saying that. And I also got a text from Steven kind of alluding to the fact that I had gotten the part before I had found out.
Could you let me know whether you are assessing a screensaver or Snow White? Rachel Zegler decided to call the 1937 classic old-fashioned Alien on it, almost as if she were trying to patch a sinking ship with duct tape made of well-chosen compliments. But to make matters even worse, I do not believe that the rest of us are seeing what you see. The cartoon, created 55 years ago, is quite out of current in terms of the ideas of women occupying positions of power. The reality that 18 followers of the original reality know is here. Apart from that, she tried to express political opinions by telling some voters not to see the film. Never a wise approach for a timeless family film. People believe Disney wanted her away from reporters who might ask sincere questions, but then the few people who were there at the premiere surprised everyone by posting on social media. Rachel's performance was highly appreciated. They called the film fresh and misunderstood. Both said the film was absolutely amazing. This sudden, positive attitude directly ran counter to the negative buzz that had been floating around for some months. People started to wonder whether Disney's invite list had been chosen with great care to alter the story from total train wreck to hidden gem. Still, the official review in Arco was lifted, and generally speaking, if a studio is pleased with their work, they will let critics discuss it days in advance to create buzz. Disney waited until almost the very last minute, though, and once the larger critic community had their say, ratings dropped as fast as a Bitcoin following a tweet from Elon Musk. From credible critics, the movie scored around 45% of the possible points. Words like awkward, soulless, missed opportunity, and massive waste of resources were tossed about like popcorn at a poor movie showing. Not exactly brilliant, more like, well, even the more favorable reviews. Watching it was not physically taxing, unlike exactly the kind of energy you would want from a remake of one of Disney's most famous fairy tales.
What's it called? The Cinderella shop where you can get your child a little dress, and they've got trannies in there. They've got a bunch of men with beards wearing princess dresses trying to costume up our children. So they were probably like, oh my God, an actual pretty woman. Yes, closest thing to a Disney princess I'm ever going to find in Disney World. I'm sorry, but...
Fairly speaking, though, the reviews seem to have slightly raised to 47%. Still a poor figure for Disney. Given the original narrative is literally Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, this is most likely the result of all the controversy surrounding the movie in first place. This version asked, "What if there are no dwarfs?" and substituted a group of ethnically varied but averagely sized. In Disney basically covered some computer-generated imagery over the enraged viewers as if it would help to calm them over the new characters. The new actors resemble Coca-Cola commercial background extras. Furthermore, to be fair, diversity is a great thing, but eliminating a whole group that the narrative revolved on and that is not inclusive is not only perplexing, but also more so. Indeed, some members of the dwarfism community have objected to the idea, saying, "I do not agree with it. You are replacing jobs that people could have as little people." The Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs tale features 4 dwarfs now. Let's discuss Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, the 2 ladies in the film who take front stage. AKA stands for Disney's public relations train disaster. She added a layer of political commentary that alienated portions of the possible audience. Then there's Gadot, who has her own political views that stirred up a storm online. Finally, Rachel Zegler's repeated remarks on how the 1937 cartoon is antiquated and how her version would be more woke caused viewers to feel uncomfortable, set the 2 of them on a press tour, and suddenly Disney's public relations team is sweating more than Snow White did following a bite off that apple. Many detractors pointed out that the debate around the movie itself clouds it. People spend more time examining the drama occurring behind the scenes. It got to the point where they cut back on the time they dedicated to Zegler in interviews. You know, things will get from bad to worse when your own star is a liability with a microphone. Conclusions drawn by others were that I am a narcissist. If the film had been really great, maybe viewers would have been able to ignore these issues, but to make matters even worse, theaters are virtually empty, which is quite embarrassing. Many started sharing seat maps from big theaters spread all around the country. Only a small number of seats have been sold, even though it is opening weekend prime show times and often occurring in big cities. For a Disney family film, this is quite rare. Reports of whole showtimes when none of the audience members bought tickets have surfaced. This is not the case with The Little Mermaid, which still had a great debut in spite of criticism. This looks to be a slow-motion box office catastrophe. Since the online response has been so positive, I tell you what, should this video garner 4,000 likes in its first 48 hours, I will personally torture myself and watch this movie for you guys. More importantly than any evil queen is the issue if you are Disney and your Snow White remake fails to sell tickets during its opening weekend. Brutal. People are criticizing the computer-generated imagery and the bogus promotional tweets. Apart from the vacant theaters, Rachel Zegler has committed interview mistakes as well. Fans who grew up with the original Snow White are unhappy. Casual moviegoers are not buying it. Even those who usually defend Disney are looking around like, okay, yeah, this one's rough, but here's the thing. Snow White lost the dwarves, the magic, and the fans all at the same time. Saying that Snow White lost all of these things all at once made this TikHub viral. Though Disney already boasts Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, theme parks, and a vault full of money, Snow White could prove to be a turning point for the company. The regular reboots are making fans more and more unhappy, especially when they recount the tales they once loved. If this film fails at the box office, it is not only a sign that viewers want originality once more, or at least remakes that honor the original without rewriting everything for the sake of a headline, not just a failure. Let me know in the comments whether you still want to see it or if you're going to skip it like a poison apple at brunch. It's the kind of public relations nightmare that makes you wonder if the evil queen was actually running the studio for this one. With poor CGI, messy promotions, empty theaters, and a leading lady Disney literally had to muzzle, Snow White just went from having the potential to be a comeback to being a certified disaster. Thus, keep your fairy tales intact, review your casting decisions, and maybe avoid remaking masterpieces just to destroy them until we get back together.